I am Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at the release version of Elden Ring. Now, you've seen my preview from the preview build earlier, and so some of the stuff that I talked about in that, basically with regards to stealth gameplay, I can now sort of show you some of those features. So I'm just going to jump into a new game. I'm going to set the same character that I chose in the preview, which is the warrior, female. Well, I'm not really going to go into any details with regards to the customization. And I did make a point that this was something quite cool, that you could really make some really cool characters, but you will need to spend a lot of time doing, like, sort of working with it. It's quite hard. I mean, I can just quickly show you some of the options here. So you select detailed appearance, and then you've got things like alter face and hair. You see that the default character is quite moody looking, kind of tough, and yeah. So if you go things like face structure, then you can start messing around with the nose. It's quite detailed. I mean, look at that nose ridge needs to come back, for example. So you can actually really spend a bit of time here and make them a lot more attractive looking. So I just bring her nostrils out, and then nostril slant, bring that up a bit. You can see how that's sort of giving her a flat nose. So yeah, I mean, you could be here for quite some time just to sort of edit these characters, but if you see that now, that's pretty cool. That's changed her look quite nicely already, just doing that. And then obviously you're going to change the width of the nose ridge, nose rib width, nose height, you know, all this, nose size. There's a lot of stuff here that you can do. Mouth especially, those lips are kind of protruding a lot. Mouth protrusion, there you go, look. So the default isn't too great, and as you can see, bring that in. Changes the look of the face, but it's that sort of forehead and nose that is kind of crazy. But look, I'll do that in another video. For now, I'm just going to skip past all this and just start the game, because otherwise I could be here for quite some time. Okay, so as I said in the preview, you've got a tutorial section where you're going to be entering a sort of cave at the beginning. It's an optional tutorial, just gives you sort of like the basics of what you're doing. Now, just before we start this video, I'm going to stop talking eventually. I'm going to skip the intro. What I'm going to say is the graphics setting, I've got this now 4K running on maximum settings. So as you can see here, it's yes, it's handling it quite nicely at 60 FPS, 4K. And you can see it looks beautifully and wonderfully sharp here. Okay, it's very smooth. So I'm not sure if I should skip the tutorial. So if I just want to say one last thing as well before I sort of wind down my discussion for now, is that when I was playing this initially, I was playing the game in remotely, which meant that I was playing it remotely, which means that I was not, even though I was being able to play it in 4K, it was being streamed, which isn't so great. So a bit of quality loss. And as you can see here now, the sort of messaging has come up from people, bloodstains. So as I said in my preview, this is all familiar ground. People that are used to Dark Souls type games. I need to swap my weapons out. Alright, I keep my right hand weapon, left hand shield. There you go. Parry. Good to go. So if you just look around at the area, it's kind of pretty nice looking. And if you look at my GPU usage, I'm running at about 64% to maintain this 60 FPS, but obviously there's nothing going on yet. So, onward, soldier. Are you actually not supposed to even remotely survive that? I'm sure some other players would have their eyes closed. Right, so this is your intro now. That's sort of like that battle. It's pretty tough. So I'm just skipping all these scenes. Right, so you've got all your stuff now, and this is the sort of tutorial when you drop down. Cave of knowledge below to drop down. Oh crap. Lost half of my health doing so. And here we have wonderfully detailed cave. So your sights of grace, get your health back, damage all of the stuff. That's it, and level up, obviously. Okay, let's go. I mean, look at the graphics here, lovely detail, wonderful in 4K. Right, first enemy, so I can sneak up behind it. Fellow friend over there is already spotted. No, he hasn't. See if I can sneak behind him. Looking at me. As I said in my preview, they're exceptionally easy in this cave. You can guard or circle around him, whichever. Dodging uses up stamina, but depends on your character build. Right, remember you can sit here smashing all these crates up to your heart's content. May not net you any gains, but if you feel like you're destructive, then of course. Whoa, we're being attacked from above. Jump down. Raw materials. Yep. Right, so shield the enemy, slightly more difficult, but I should be able to sneak behind him if I'm careful. Oh no, he spotted me straight away. Why, laddie, what are you doing? So, wield with two hands, Y and LB. Oops. Oh, shield with two hands. Like that. Okay, we got this. Oops. I made light work of him. I didn't mean to drink that. Obviously you're open to attack. that. Knocked him down. So just to swap that back out, you can just do that fairly easily to swap your weapons depending on the opponent. Cool. Not really much need for that anyway, considering how weak these sort of characters are. I've got this long grass now, which is great. Move quite fast behind an enemy. Do that stealth attack. It's pretty cool. Do it again. Nope, he spotted. Oh. That sort of staggered him. We've got next. So if you die, this is where you can come back to. Got a little boss character here now. Blocking attack guard counter. Ooh, but that was such a heavy attack. Die. And there's the crazy lock-on I was telling you about. See the way I rolled? He was locked under me, and that stab move was always going to hit me. Always, without fail. That's cheap. There's been a feature for the entire series. I'm not sure what I'm doing with my potions to heal myself. Flask of Crimson Tears. Not sure why that did not work. I was trying to use it. Oh, he's coming for me again. Look at that. Okay, well, I got most of his health down. Whoa! See how easy that was? Your lost runes. Right, see why my crimson. Why is it not working? It would help if you push the right button. I was pushing down on the D-pad to use that. That was obviously the wrong button. Okay. So I think that's it. That's the tutorial over and done with. Okay, just drop back down again. This is back where we started, I believe. Yep, we got that. Okay. I think the way out is up here. I think. Put those doors right. Okay, Light of Grace. I think we shall rest here. And as you know, those enemies get reset. So can I No, I can't do even level up right now. Okay. This is quite a spectacular moment now when you first exit the cave to see sort of the open world opening up, so to speak. Pretty impressive stuff. As you can see, it's handling the frame rate pretty well. So this is where you're free to just explore now, this entire area. Do whatever you want, go whichever way you want to go, and the world is yours to explore. You can sort of follow the story.
Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between. Of course you have. Unfortunately for you, without guidance, without the strength, you are fated. Luckily for you, however, me. Are you familiar with Grace? You may also behold its golden. That is the guidance. It will lead you to, even if it leads. Grace is the castle storm, the home of the. It's time you set to castle if you seek the
You're tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale.
So again, you've got just an open map to explore here. So these sort of pathways will lead to your objective. But as I mentioned before, you can sort of stealth your way through these areas, which is pretty cool. All these sort of guards here, just wander up behind them and take them out, which is pretty cool, being able to do that. So obviously if you're competent enough, then you can sort of sneak behind most of them, take them out one by one, keeping an eye on where they're patrols. No, he spotted me. I'm suspicious at least. Hide in the bush. Or maybe he spotted the body and just sneak behind him. No, that's so good. Yeah. Took him down with relative ease. More troops, just be careful. So I mean, obviously if you're too noisy, then you could sort of end up having a big fight with loads of them at once. It's not preferable. But you'll be getting nice amount of skill. Whoops. You just got to be careful that you're not getting into the view of more than one enemy. Sneak behind. No, too slow. This one here didn't notice that, which is good. Yeah, so this sort of open world lends itself to stealth build characters, which is really nice. Obviously you don't have to play it this way, but this is a good way that I like to sort of play games. It's a great option to have. Okay, well, let's clean them out. Okay, so here is the encampment that I was talking about in my preview video. Lots of guards here. You got a grace point just up here by the gate. So if you can just quickly run over to there and activate it, you can then sort of stealth this whole entire base. Again, it's an optional objective. You can ignore it completely. The waypoint is telling you to go through this gate here. Let's just quickly get over there. Site of Grace activated. Okay, so what we can do here, let's just rest at this point. And we'll just sort of change it to nighttime, just for a bit more atmosphere. I mean, you can do that in the daytime. I'm not sure how much the nighttime affects the visibility. Well, I think hopefully now I should be able to level up.
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve but you. I
Skip
can
all
play
this.
turning water aid you. You need to the foot. Then it's settled. Summon me. Ah, I bequeath. You
So
little
steed
summon
ring.
a torrent has treat him with.
Right, level
Shall
up.
I turn your runes? Let my hand share them with me.
Okay,
Your
so
thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you
pretty
will
familiar
follow.
ground here, leveling up this. So what I'm going to do is endurance is quite useful. Only pretty level up once. The amount of runes I've got. That's it. Okay. So it's currently night time already, so that's pretty good. We need to change the time of day, so you can get on horseback. So quite a few guards in here. They're not always immediately obvious. So let's try this little stealth run. Just keeping low in the mix. Now if one of them spots, there's one with a horn that will alert the entire base if you're discovered. You want to stay well clear of him, or make sure you take him out pretty quick. Stay wide of their cone of vision. Nope, he's suspicious. Right, let's come down. You've got to be careful that they don't just suddenly turn around on predetermined patrol routes. So you've got this sort of general that's patrolling this main pathway, who is a bit tougher than the others. There he is with that shield. So you want to save him for last. You don't want to get into this sort of a big rumble with him just yet. But I think you're already getting the idea that this sort of stealth character is quite nice to play. Oops. Guy's coming back. So they investigate any noise, as you'd expect. There's a lot of guards here. You wouldn't think there's so many, but there are. Sort of hidden in the woodwork. Gotta be careful. Expected. Oh dear. Right, well those creatures were not in the preview build. So they're going to mess your stealth up. So you need something like some throwing knives. You should buy those to get rid of these aerial characters. But anyway, look, that's giving you a good taste of what to expect from stealthing this sort of area. Perhaps those creatures only come out at night, so you could try and stealth that in the day. Now this is the next area that I said in the preview, which I was able to just run past. But let me just quickly show you what happens when you come here, just so you can get an idea as well of the frame rate when you've got some big character like that that's suddenly part of the equation. So look, they're not only just shooting at you as well, they are also yeah, so you've got to take care of these guys that are shooting at you at range. Yeah, so that's one way. If you don't stealth it, then yeah, that's the kind of thing you've got to put up with, which is quite tough, depending on what character build that you have, obviously, and your proficiency with the character. So look, I'm going to leave it at that. that was pretty much most of what I obviously I got a lot further in the preview, but yeah, I did spend quite a lot of time trying to do this entire base stealthily, and messed up quite a few times before, especially with the last character. But I think it gives you a good taste of what to expect. I'm going to leave it at that, and obviously wait for my review when I'm finished and further into the game. Okay, I'm Rob Cram. Thanks for watching.